I'll call this session of the Board of Revision to order and begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. With me on the panel today are Cindy Stevens and Brent McIntyre. Our secretary is Katie Sutherland and the assessor is Jeremy Pohl. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised, the comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included in the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony, followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the application has been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. If you've not already done so, could you put your phones on silent? We permit the use of phones during the hearing with the permission of the chair. It is to look up something necessary for the hearing. Could we have the swearing in, please?
Jeremy Ryan.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name.
Russell.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? How do you do?
Yes.
So, I take it for expedience's sake, we are going to start with item number, what do we have here, 4? So if we're doing, we're starting with...
Just give me a second.
Sure.
File number is 192609. Roll number is...
Just before you start, sorry. A question that would be for both of you. We're just dealing with value today?
Yes.
No issues other than value? Okay, and we're dealing with these first because they are apparently going to go quickly.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, sorry, Jerry. Go ahead.
So quick that I haven't actually done the acquisition on my roll number is 100067761010. There is no civic address. It's vacant beat home. The original assessed value in 2020 was $3,503,000. The land area is 167,080 square feet. On the following pages is the subject property. It's in the Seasons of Tuxedo area off of Sterling Park. Sterling Line Parkway and Kenston. The original assessment was based on $20.97 a square foot. We're making a reduction down to $19 a square foot, which lowers the assessment from $3,503,000 down to $3,175,000.
3175?
Leaks water.
Is that fine with you? Any questions? Moving on then to item number 5.
Same idea as the last one. File number is 192601. Roll number is 10006776005. Again, a VCOM in Seasons of Tuxedo. The land area is 124,316 square feet. On the following page is the subject property. And again, we're doing $19 a square foot, down from the original $21.41, which gives us a value of $2,363,000.
What are the numbers again, sorry?
$2,363,000.
We accept that. Let me just catch up here with my notes. Okay.
The next one, same idea. Again, file number is 192612. Roll number is 10006776050. The land area is 225,849 square feet. The following page is where it is in the subject property next to Seasons of Tuxedo. And we have again $23.43 for land. Square foot rate, we're dropping that to $19, which gives us an assessed value of $4,291,000.
4291. Thank you.
We accept.
Thank you.
And for the fourth one, Mr. Chairman, we'd just like to ask for a confirmation of the assessment. At the current value.
And you will not be presenting any evidence on this. Could you read this in, please?
File number is 192615. Roll number is 10006776055. For the 2020 year, it is, for the assessed value, is $3,796,000. The land area is 182,361 square feet. On the following page, that's where it's located. So we had a value of $20.82 a square foot, which produced the $3,796,000 value. So.
Any questions?
No, I have no questions.
Okay.
The reason being that this is closer to the east side, closer to Kenniston, and it actually has a new restaurant on the site now, Frankie's, I think it's called. So there'll be a supplementary reason.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great holiday.
You too. Thank you.
Last year. Mine, yeah. I'm going to go for a Oh, yeah.
No. Yeah. We will need to do that. But, where are you seeing that?
If you look on these pages.
What value Came out with,
That's actually right over those pages, not Yep, that's what we'll do. I did ask at the beginning.
Yeah,
So,
so,
that's okay, I got that.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so, does this mean we are dealing with item number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Trevor Smith.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, whole truth, and the truth, so help you God?
I do.
File number is 1960. Roll number is 040070947000. The 2020 year, the original assessment was for $4,195,000. I'm making a recommendation to reduce it to $3,581,000. If you look at the next property, or I should say the subject property on the next page. This is off Concordia Lachimodi Boulevard. It's right behind Winnipeg Regional Health Access Center. The Shoppers Drive Hard as well as the lower level. It's a good sided area. It's in a good area, high traffic area, but it does have limited potential for the actual approaches. There is no real approachway that would be able to be built up to Lachimodi. And there's a little bit of area on the south side on Concordia which would be able to be developed for an access way. And then there's just the back lane that goes off of Panic Road. So there is a little bit of an access issue. Would limit its value a little bit as far as the feasible development of the property. I believe it's owned by the same, I guess, Winnipeg Regional Health Authority kind of thing. Concordia Wellness projects anyways. So with that, I think it's a fair reduction.
What does that work out to a square foot?
1450 square.
Thank you.
Sorry.
July, could you go through your comparables?
Myself. You want to go through the comparables?
Yeah.
Okay. We have 9 comparables. The northeast comparables.
Sorry, I hate to interject. I can speed it up because we are in agreement.
This is the one you're in agreement on? Oh,
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I thought you wanted more background. I thought we were...
Sorry, I didn't realize that this was the one that you were in agreement on. There's one of the 2, right?
That's right.
And then okay, so it's the other one that we're going to wind up contesting. In that case, you are fine.
Yes, we're what was the value?
$3,581,000.
Yes. Yeah. That's
3581 is the recommendation due to reduced square foot
No, it's just a bit of limited access.
access. Okay.
Given that, I guess, the same property owners are all around, but if you look at it for a pretty simple perspective, there is limited access. That would claw back the market a little bit.
Okay. All right, then we move on to the next one, which does not have a street address, but the roll number ends in 600 on De La Seigneurie Boulevard.
Just give you 1 second, please. I'm going to make, file number is 191030. Roll number is 06093373600. There's no specific address as we found The 2020 original assessed value was for $1,192,000. I'm making a recommendation for a reduction down to $827,000. The land area is 43,549 square feet. If you look at the following page, is the subject property. It's on the Michigan Brandon Dilla signature. It is landlocked, although there is approaches from other parcels. The original assessed value was based on a $27.37 square foot rate. That's a little high. I reviewed the area. I also reviewed it similar with the other other subject properties here today. Under appeal, a $19 assessment is more appropriate. And I'll go through the comparables that we have. Comparables on the next page, on page 3, are the sales central comps. We have 5 comps, all BCOM zoned as C2, C3. Starting from May 2014, leading up to the reference date, we have ranges of $41, $23, $50, $50, and $59 a square foot. On the following pages show the actual locations. Some of the properties have obviously been developed since that time, so there's a building on them, but that's what they were when they were sold. On page 5 is the Southwest comps. We have 8 comps, all C zoned. Well, there is one CMU zoning. We have ranges from $13.79 leading up to $28 a square foot, with the $220 a square foot being the most applicable at Sterling Park and Keniston Boulevard. So there, again, $20. I feel like the subject property is landlocked. I feel it's a little off of this site. To make a reduction by about $10 a square foot, $9 a square foot is reasonable for the location. So, with that being said, I'm open to questions.
And that recommendation is not accepted?
We're moving on our value as well, but we're not quite in agreement on the number.
Questions?
No, that's fine. I'll just speak to my evidence.
Okay. Ms. McIntyre?
No questions.
Ms. Stevens?
I'm just looking here, any of these, your comps landlocked at all? Like the same as this one? Or most of them have easier access?
Most of them have easier access. There's a couple in the Seasons of Tuxedo, but they do, I mean, they're not technically landlocked, but they do have access in there. But the problem with we were getting with the Seasons of Tuxedo was, if you look at these here, if you're going to develop this, and I guess that's the game plan, what are you left with for parking up front? I've actually been to Seasons at Tuxedo. They use all of this for parking. I mean, I was there this weekend. Like, I was at the corner of this lawn here. So if you're going to take away, what's that, about 40% of your parking for this development, I see limited potential for the person coming in to find that site to develop it. It just seems like parking would be a very problematic issue on that site. So.
Would you also say that this area where this piece of property is certainly less built up retail area than the areas where the comps are, correct?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, land sales fall where they fall. We bring in the most recent sales to reflect market. You don't have large quantities also at the same time. It's just the way that land sales go.
That's all I had, thank you.
Just a question about the difference in the sale price per square foot between the St. Anne's comps and the southwest ones. Quite a remarkable difference. Is that really due to size?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you go downwards in size, your competition, you have more people that could compete for that. You get a more demand now, you get a higher sale price. So when you look at this development for the Southwest comps, these are more investment grade and more substantial properties to develop, so they would have a factor of scale that would come down.
Okay. Mr. Slade?
Yeah, Yes, thank you. First, I'd like to thank the city for acknowledging the property. It should be valued lower than it currently is. That's certainly commendable. Looking at subject property here, I'll get you to put to my page number 5, and then page number 6 after that. So this is the site aerial. Perhaps the city have a better. Actually, the second page of the city's brief is probably even better to look at the property itself. So the area is outlined in red, obviously. It is almost exactly an acre and is zoned C2, so you're looking at a commercial zoning here. It is surrounded by 2 apartment blocks. The one on the left side of the frontage that isn't residential, fronting on Bishop Grandin, no access from Bishop Grandin, but you can see that's an apartment block. Beside that, we have Home Run Sports that's on the corner. I believe it's still Home Run Sports. It was for sale at some point. And then just to the south of that is a second apartment block. And at the intersection of, I guess it's Desjardins and De La Seigneurie, is an office building. This is Doctors Manitoba, I believe it is, that's there, that owns that entire parcel. So this parcel here is landlocked. There is no easement from the parcel to the south to get to this property. And I see that there's paving there from previous ownership, etc., but there is no agreement in place to access this parcel. So that would have to be done if it were to be changed to multifamily use, then rezoning would have to occur, etc. So we're still valuing a C2 parcel where it sits. The profile of this property is impeded by all of these properties to the north and east of it. So if you're looking at profile, Home Run Sports has decent profile on the corner there. The apartment block beside that, again, fronting on Bishop, would have good frontage, but both of them impede your view of this parcel at the back. So for a C2 zone site to be developed commercially, you're certainly limiting any profile and visibility of any development that would occur on that site. So you have a parcel where you would need to get agreements to access it in the first place from adjacent ownership, which is going to drive value down, and then it has limited visibility. So the other aspect with regard to location, if you look at my page number 6, yes, we're in St. Patel, but we're not adjacent to Royal Woods or any of the new developments. We're not, say, in that. The name's eluding me for the moment. This new development that's occurred just off of Highway 59. Sage Creek, thank you. It's early this morning, I suppose. Significant development occurring there. Obviously, you've got agglomerations of commercial, etc. That's a driver for value for land prices, things of that nature. The subject is an isolated parcel, essentially. There is this development at this intersection with the 2 apartment buildings, Home Run Sports, and then the Doctors Manitoba. And if you go to the west, one lighted intersection, there is a small shopping center at that location as well, just a little neighborhood shopping center. But that's really the only development in that stretch. So that is what you're looking at in terms of the area itself. Property sold in August 6, 2014 for $700,000, and it had been marketed for sale for quite a while without any significant interest for it. We can move forward to the valuation now. And I will be adjusting my valuation, which I may as well do at this point. I would adjust my my value upwards from $15.50 a square foot to $17.50 a square foot, which would give us a market value of $762,000, and that's largely based on a time factor. Some of our comparables are a little bit older, and we recognize that the market may have moved a bit since that time. So the comparables are shown on page number 9, and we have aerials of each of them as we go forwards here. It can be difficult to get ones that are in a correct size range. If you look at the very bottom of our chart on page number 9, we have property on Portage Avenue, 3586 Portage, transacting in August 2017, Zone C3, just under an acre at $13.16 a square foot. Now that is obviously on West Portage, and it is set back considerably from the frontage. So in a sense, it's similar to the subject in that way. I would say the subject is probably marginally better than that property. The Leela property would be inferior and is zoned residential, or his property use code rather is vacant residential to Zone C2. Trading at 11/21 in 2016. If we look at probably more informative ones, we have a couple of properties, numbers 5 and 6, trading at roughly $16 a square foot. Zone C2, $40,000 and $63,000. These are located off of Regent in behind Costco, so they have frontage. But they're set in behind the Costco location on Regent itself, and we are going back a couple of years in time there. The Northtown Road properties, obviously significantly larger, better location, significantly better location, but the land sales themselves are significantly larger. Aside from the first one there, comparable number 1, just under 30,000 square feet, trading in 2015 at $13.50 roughly per square foot in December 2015. So time has moved on from then. I think on balance, if we look at the information available, I think that $17.50 would be an appropriate valuation for the subject property. Just looking at, I guess, some of the past information just from the hearing today, I wouldn't necessarily equate it with values from the Seasons of Tuxedo location. I recognize that those would be, limited in terms of development, but I would still probably place the subject slightly below them in terms of a per square foot valuation, in my opinion. That's my evidence. Thank you.
Ms. Cole?
I don't have any questions. Land sales are pretty simple. I'll leave it at discretion.
Okay. Mr. McIntyre?
I just have one on the assessor's page too, because it is the better photo. The Doctors Manitoba office and the subject site, it looks from the aerial that there is some intent to provide access through Doctors Manitoba because of the extension of that roadway. Why would they do that without an agreement in place?
So that would be historical. We'd be going back in time. That's not, in no way is that connected to the current ownership of that site. Formerly, Salvation Army used to own this particular site as well as 2 of the adjacent sites, and I believe, and I didn't do the background title search on this, but I think they owned that whole portion of land at some point. So that may be a historical leftover from them. Maybe at one point Doctors Manitoba intended to buy that parcel, but didn't. I don't have the background. But in any case, there is no easement and there's no connection between the ownership there. So the parcel is landlocked.
It just seems odd that they would extend that parking lot as a roadway.
Yes,
The rear of the site, that's just an
I have the
observation.
same thought, but I believe it's a historical leftover from past ownership or past intent.
I asked the same question. I didn't find anything on it either. I just.
Okay, no, it's just
Yeah,
sort of
So-
observation.
yeah.
Okay, what's the question?
So is this piece of property, is it owned by any of the adjacent properties, or it's a separate owner?
It is actually owned by the same ownership as the two apartment buildings.
Okay, that's what, okay.
Yes, but again, we're not valuing.
No, I understood, I just was wondering so it could, you were mentioning multifamily, so I suppose, but right now it's zone commercial.
If they go that way, they'll have to go through the rezoning
Zoning.
process and develop and of course put in place an easement across their own property as well, in case that property ever needed to be sold. It would have to have access provided to it either through their own parcel to the east or from the adjacent owner to the south, which would have a cost to it, I'm assuming.
That's all I have, thank you.
Is Doctors Manitoba the owner of that parcel to the south? Or is it somebody else and Doctors Manitoba leases?
They are the owner, I believe they are the owner of that site. I had looked that up at some point.
Do you know, are they the original occupant of that building, or was somebody else in there earlier?
I honestly don't.
I had it under appeal. They are owner occupier and they've been that way for some time.
Sometime, yes.
So I didn't get back to, it's a fairly newer building, if I'm not mistaken, so I would think that they would be owner occupier.
Any idea why that parking lot is so large? I mean, it's not really germane to the value of the subject, but it's on curiosity.
Doctors have big cars.
SUVs.
I honestly don't
Okay.
have an answer for you there.
Well, that's all of my scintillating questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes our session this morning.